Here's the gay news, August 2019. Welcome everyone to Powered and Protected by Rainbows. I am of course your host, Matt Haslam. And today we're diving into the news yet again to share with you what's been happening in the LGBTQ community recently. If you have a story you'd like us to talk about on this program, please leave those in the comments down below. Anyway, on to the news. Our first story tonight comes from Philadelphia, PA, where just last month we covered a story which the city is now requiring their officers to address trans men and women by their chosen name and not their dead name. But this month, Philly has gone a step further. They investigated 328 officers and fired 13 of the worst offenders for posting racist, homophobic, and transphobic messages on social media. They also required 4 additional officers to undergo anti-bias training. On July 16th in Reading, PA, Democratic Mayor Wally Scott blocked the local LGBTQ group from flying a rainbow flag above City Hall at the last minute before their pride flag raising ceremony in front of local news crews. The LGBTQ group filed paperwork for the pride flag to be flown above City Hall ahead of their city pride celebration later that weekend. The paperwork was approved of and signed off on by the city council. The mayor ran out to stop the ceremony at the last moment and caused a nationwide campaign against himself. After it was reported that he calls himself the, quote, people's mayor, and responses worldwide, including the offices of the Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor, calling on him to reconsider and pointing out other movements have gotten better treatment and have been able to fly their flags above the Reading City Hall before, Mayor Scott finally chose to do the humane thing and allow the flag to be flown the day of the Reading Pride celebration. But that move came days later and only for the Reading Pride Day celebration. He also responded in a video message on social media, but his answer includes plenty of lies, including the claim that his office didn't approve of the flag, and the claim that it was a controversial political movement.
So I put a hold on it because of the fact that I felt it was a movement, and we don't hang movements on flags that go out underneath our, City of Reading flag or United States flag or the state of Pennsylvania flag. But so I stopped it. I said, we don't do movements because most of the time you don't know who's behind the movement. You can see people standing in front of you, but what is the whole movement? I have done for the Dominican Association or the Dominicans for their Independence Day. We don't hang movements. I have done for the Mexicans for their Independence Day. We don't hang movements. And I have put a flag up for the Puerto Ricans for Puerto Rico when the big flood came. We don't hang movements on flags. And today I notified I never get the initials right, but I'll just say that I notified Gay Pride. And I told them that they can put a flag up. I said, I wish you'd keep the politics out of it though. Don't bring politicians here. I'm not interested in what the Lieutenant Governor has to say. And I'm not interested in what Donna Reed or any other politician who's running for public office has to say.
But regardless of his non-existent apology, our parent company, Matt Haslam Productions and MHP TV, which is the company we get all of our film gear for this show, and our broadcaster, we would like to extend an invitation and a good discount to any opponent who is LGBTQ friendly and willing to run against Mayor Wally Scott in 2020, as that's when he's up for re-election. Though most times we try to stay neutral on news stories, this sort of anti-gay and anti-LGBTQ treatment cannot become normal and cannot be left unanswered for. So we're calling on our neighbors in Reading, PA, which is only about an hour away from us here, to remember this moment, as your current mayor is not for all of the people as he so claims. In other news, Amazon decided this past month to stop selling anti-gay and conversion therapy books by one of its many authors. Though the move wasn't universal and wasn't against every anti-gay and conversion therapy author, the U.S. House of Representatives Republicans are calling on Amazon and pressuring them to continue selling conversion therapy books. The pressure comes from a committee, which, yes, you heard that correct, it's a committee of over 70% of GOP House members. GOP members want conversion therapy books sold on Amazon, as they claim it's, quote, Amazon censorship. But Amazon stands behind its initial move, as it's the humane thing to stop conversion therapy and anti-gay movements at all cost. Across the pond in Northern Ireland, MPs voted in an overwhelming majority for pro-LGBTQ amendment, which would allow for gay and lesbian folks to have marriage equality. The vote read out 383 to 73 in favor of LGBTQ. And while it's deeply concerning that 73 people still voted against basic human rights, it's a win nonetheless, which we will take. In Illinois, Governor Jay Pritzker signed an executive order directing state schools to take comprehensive action to support and protect transgender students. In a statement on Twitter, Pritzker said, quote, "We're taking one more step towards securing Illinois' place as a leader in equality and hope. Under this executive order, ignorance is no longer an excuse for bigotry." Singer Shawn Mendez is under fire this month for having refused a fan to help her come out as bisexual to her parents at one of his concerts. But as a straight, cisgendered male, he explained to his fan his reasoning, and in our opinion, his reasoning was actually pretty sound here. Shawn explained that any words he said as a straight male wouldn't mean as much to her parents, and as her just telling them the truth personally. Shawn has been a long-time advocate for the LGBTQ, as in the past he was under fire by fans who speculated he was gay. He later said in an interview how he has to prove he is straight just to prove to fans that he isn't gay, which he thought was wrong, and honestly, his response back then was very well educated and a perfect example of how a major celebrity can still be an advocate for our community without being a member themselves. And in my opinion, this recent story is just another prime example that a celebrity can be an advocate. Super Happy Fun America is coming under more fire for their straight pride and homophobic movement campaign, this time from Netflix. The group which is running the straight pride and homophobic parade is using the Netflix logo, saying that Netflix is one of their biggest sponsors of the event. However, the Netflix team ordered them a cease and desist for using their logo and stating they would never sponsor an anti-LGBTQ movement of any kind. In their quote to press, Netflix wrote, "You should know that we're unafraid of bullies. Our legal department is here, it's queer, and it's telling you to steer clear." Adding that the straight pride movement was, quote, about hate, not pride. They gave the homophobic group Super Happy Fun America 24 hours to remove their logo from their website. Finally, 19-year-old Ken Mendes fled his homophobic home, writing a letter to his parents calling his home an unlivable house and stating many LGBTQ statistics of suicide. He left his letter to his parents behind when he fled his home this past month and shared his letter to social media. In the letter, he starts by saying, quote, "There hasn't been a day I haven't cried or struggled to find the energy to get out of bed. I feel trapped and manipulated every time I walk out of my room. You have accused me of being a bad person, of being an embarrassment, and telling me I have a psychological disorder. You have even gone as far as forcing me to watch videos in order to make me feel ashamed of who I am and who I love. All of this has done more harm than good. I'm leaving because I refuse to become another statistic. Please don't try to contact me unless you're ready to accept me for who I am." And that's a heart-wrenching story, to say the least. It's the reason we commend Amazon for standing behind their decision to not sell anti-gay books, and why we commend Netflix for standing by their decision to not support anti-gay movements. I'll leave a link to Kent's Twitter down below so you can support him and show your support personally. And I'll also leave a link to a charity called Have a Gay Day, which helps kids just like Kent find a home if their homophobic or transphobic parents throw them out on the street or make their house unlivable. Have a Gay Day helps them find a home for the night and a loving home for the future. So we highly suggest supporting not only Kent, but Have a Gay Day for the thousands of kids who aren't so lucky to have a loving and accepting family as I have been graced with. Anyway, that's our episode for today. If you have any thoughts on today's topic or want to share your experiences, I encourage you to leave those in the comments down below. Also, while you're down there, please like this video, subscribe to our network for plenty of more great gay content to come in the future, and share this video with others. I'm Matt Haslam, this has been PBR, and have a gay day everyone. Bye for now.